Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you're listening to our show. That was, it's cloyingly sweet, like a bad announcer. Sorry about that, everybody. We have a special, if not impromptu, show because, you know, we try to keep our ear to the ground. And in this case, our ear got thumped on real quick because we've got a special guest with a special announcement. Special guest, who are you?
I'm Henri Cash from the band STARCRAWLER.
And we've had you on before, so people should be relatively familiar. Tony's going to look up what episode that was, because I always am, I rely on him for that. Henri, you're on tour right now, and so we're taking some of your downtime. So we're not going to make this a knockdown, drag-out 2-hour fight like some of our episodes have been going, just because, you know, it goes well and we like talking and stuff. But
hey, Todd.
Yes.
According to our librarian,
yes,
episode number 330 was an interview with Henri Cash of STARCRAWLER.
I think this is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is going to be episode 390.
Wow.
Yeah. So, go back and listen to that, everybody, and you can get all the deeper details on our friend Henri here, who is just tearing it up everywhere he goes.
You know how you can remember that? What episode it is?
No.
It's either your favorite Rickenbacker or your favorite Electro-Spanish Gibson.
Oh.
A 330.
Yes.
Also a Gibson.
That's right.
330.
ES 330. That's right.
ES 330.
Exactly.
And do you know what the ES 330 was a relative of?
No, inform me.
It was the Gibson's version of the Epiphone Casino.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it has the P90s.
Yeah, the only difference is Gibson used black covers and Epiphone had the chrome covers or nickel covers.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, I passed the tests in my head.
And they do sound different.
They do, but they're essentially made the same. They're a true hollow body instrument.
Yeah. Why do you think they sound different?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I stopped trying to.
Oh no! Continue.
No, I've given up on trying to figure out why two identical things sound completely different. Well, not completely different, but different enough.
I'm currently not far from the original Gibson factory.
Oh.
I'm actually in Kalamazoo right now. That's where we just got to.
Did they ever finish the smokestack yet?
You know what? It's no longer there. And I don't know what's going to happen with it. I know they disassembled it because we've been coming here for a while now. My mom's family's from up here.
Yeah.
And it's now Heritage Guitars.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know a couple years ago they were, speaking to developers about making it some sort of tourist attraction, but I don't know whatever happened to it.
Yeah, I think the last time I was in Kalamazoo, maybe they were taking the stack down, but they were having fundraisers all over town.
We talked about that.
And I thought that they had brought it back up, but maybe something happened.
Who
knows? I don't know. I wanted to stay here. I always like to stay here because I still have a lot of family here, but I went to go see Jack White a few weeks ago, and the bass player, Dominic Davis, told me that I forget which guitar store came out here because there's like some theory that 100-mile law radius, that if something was created somewhere within 100 miles will be in excess of whatever that was. And some guitar store came out here and they went asking around all the bars and recently acquired a bunch of old Gibson prototypes. And they did it. They found it. They found this old woman that had her basement was full of old Gibsons.
Holy moly.
Boy, what a find that would be, huh?
So, yeah, we'll see what I get up to later tonight, but, that would sure be nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, you could always head over, if you get tired of looking for Gibson, just head a block or two south and go to Bell's Brewery.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's see here. We are going to motor on. We've got a couple of announcements real quick. I wanted to point out that today, Indigenous Peoples Day, Native Audio, our friend Mike Trombley, our dear friend Mike Trombley, and his pal Micah re-released the Ghost Ridge Reverb with all new graphics, and I think it's basically pretty much the same pedal. Mm-hmm. I need to learn a little bit more about that, or you can just go over to Native Audio and you'll.
Did you lose Mike's telephone number?
No, of course not.
Well, why didn't you call him?
I sent him an email.
Oh.
Does that count?
No.
And they just also re-released the War Pony and all new graphics on that. And both of those look absolutely fantastic. And they both sound amazing. We're going to have them on the show in, I believe, December to get the first couple of listens on these. And, we've got the 4 on the Floor episodes that we've been doing. Next up is Tremolo.
Ah, you're shaking like tremolo.
Shaking like tremolo. And after that, I think we're going to just go ahead and hit reverb because I want to get that Ghost Ridge on the board.
Yeah, I think that should be the title, Shaking Like Tremolo.
Yeah, it might be. Thank you to Native Audio for re-releasing that lovely, lovely looking pedal. And it was like, who cares what it looks like? I cares what it's looked like.
Yep.
I mean, that's part of it, I suppose, at least for me. So I got excited about it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay, and also we've got our friends down in Nashville, the Jack's Guitarcheology. They're going to have a builder pop up. We've mentioned this a couple times. We don't have many more to mention because this is happening November 3rd, and this is going to feature Hagtronics, Red River. It's going to feature Kroll devices, Monkey Riot pedals, Masai guitars, Equitz guitars, Stringjoy, Rose Electric, Dismal Axe, and I'm sure many, many more. So that sounds like a pretty good time. If you are in that area on November 3rd, head over to the Jack's Guitarcheology and have a great time with some fantastic builders. In fact, Red River is going to be on the next episode after this episode with Henry. So there you go.
I love it.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I've got marked my calendar.
Perfect. All right, Tony, let's find out what's going on in our music worlds this week. Go ahead. Then we're going to check in with our pal Henry.
Okay. Well, let's see. So last night we got back from a trip that I actually had a great time on. We were supposed to go to Florida, and lo
and behold,
there was a hurricane that canceled our trip. Oh. So no flying from Columbus down to Tampa. But
there's a lot of things flying.
Yeah.
Not planes.
Just not aeroplanes.
Yeah.
So we decided, well, we've got time off. What can we do that we can drive to? And we decided that, the Bourbon Trail would be fun.
How did you even get on that short notice? Most people, they got to wait months to do that.
There are some crazy things that happen. I mean, stars align, whatever. I mean, it was about a week out that we started making, plans for alternates. Mm-hmm. And I just started lining stuff up for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we said, well, we'll just come home Sunday, which worked out great. But the first place we stayed in Frankfurt, it was like a Superhost guy, and they said this is normally sold out, and they had this one room, and it was great. It was in downtown Frankfurt. We had a blast. We stopped at Buffalo Trace, bought bottles of stuff. I have to dry out for a while.
Yeah. You're like human foie gras.
Yeah. Just fill my mouth with grain and let me eat. But what's the point of this? The point of this, we had a situation on Friday night that didn't turn out as planned, but actually turned out better. So our final night was supposed to be in Louisville.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been to Louisville before. By chance, we had to rearrange our schedule and do 2 nights in Louisville. And I have to say I'm glad that we did, because I never realized what a music town Louisville is.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a blast. The area of town we stayed in was Nulu, which is kind of just east of downtown.
Yep.
And we went to a Louisiana-style place the first night, and they had this great kind of Cajun music going. I mean, live music.
Yeah.
The next night we stopped in at there's a Cuban.
Henry, did you fall in a grain silo?
No, did something happen?
That was wild.
I'll continue.
Okay.
So the next night we went to this Cuban restaurant, and they had a Cuban band, a salsa band playing. And, we were able to try out some of our salsa steps.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Rumba steps.
Yes.
My wife and I were taking lessons for a while. And so, I don't have quite the hip action, but, it's still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bionic salsa. Yeah.
But the point was, there was stuff going
Oh, there's
on.
a point. Okay, good.
There was music stuff going all over town. And, we went to some of the smaller things. I think, was it Jelly Roll he was playing that night?
Oh, yeah. He just played here in Columbus with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, all types of music.
That's
all
great.
Kinds of stuff. Great music town. If you have a chance or you happen to be passing through Kentucky and you need to stop at Louisville, do it.
Do it. All right. Henry, what's going on in your music world this week?
Oh, well, we were just in St. Louis yesterday, which was a great show. Got to see one of Chuck Berry's guitars that was on display in one of the restaurants
Nice.
down there.
Nice.
I broke my ribs last week.
How'd you do that?
Well, I was in Minneapolis. I believe the venue was called the First Line. It was one of the venues owned by First Avenue.
Uh-huh.
And it was just a really great show, and it was feeling really good. And I recently got this new cable. We went through Portland, and our good friend Gil at Divine Noise.
Oh, yeah.
I had a conversation with him about, I was interested in going from a 50-foot cable to a 100-foot cable.
Holy crap.
And, he cut the cable and, advised me that it didn't, sound quite as good as the 50-foot cable. But I tweaked a couple settings on my amp and made it work. And, I was getting pretty far for a good couple weeks there. I was, going outside at the end of the night. If there was a staircase, I could climb it. And it was just, really good to know that I had 100 feet behind me. But it went a little bit to my head because then I started seeing things at the end of the night. I was like, oh, man, I bet I could make it up there. And,
No.
in Minneapolis, it was just a really great show. And at the end of the night, I made my way to front of house and realized that the balcony was just about a hop and a climb away. So I hopped and I climbed and I pulled myself up. And keep in mind, I'm not a very physical person. I never work out or anything like that besides being on stage. I like, riding a bike, but that's about
you're
it.
pretty highly physical on stage.
On stage, yes, but
Yeah.
I'm not exercising these muscles normally when I'm not on stage.
Yes.
I'm very mobile, but I'm not doing anything that's making me strong besides carrying cases. But so I jumped and I hopped and I climbed and I made my way up into this balcony and I pulled myself up like with one hand on the guitar, one hand on the gate to the balcony, and I pulled myself up there, and then I went up there and I played for a bit and I felt fine and I didn't notice anything. And then as the night progressed and I went back to the hotel that night, I started to feel really, uncomfortable in my chest and I couldn't really sleep. And then the next day, I was having a really hard time breathing, laughing felt miserable.
Oh, boy.
And I thought I pulled a muscle or something. And then, just midday after that load in, I was like, I got to go to urgent care because this could be bad. And then, I took some x-rays and then found out that I broke 2 ribs, which I didn't even think would be possible because I didn't quite remember. But I guess when I pulled myself up into the balcony,
Yep.
I pulled myself in. When I got on there, I led with my rib cage and like kind of landed on that. And I guess it doesn't take much to break ribs, but it's super painful.
Jeez.
So
is it in the front or the back? I guess the front.
In the front, yeah, the third and the fourth rib. They're small. They're not like full breaks or anything because they're not like, because I guess it's really dangerous to break ribs.
Yeah.
Because they're sharp and they could puncture your lungs and other stuff. And so they're not like that. They're just cracked, which is good. It was cool. I got to see my x-rays, and I went to in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. I went to the urgent care, and they were all super nice there.
It's a new album cover right there.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get them. I didn't get to keep them. They didn't print them out for me. But maybe I could. You end up paying for them, so I should be able to get a printout or something.
Yeah, I think you should get them.
Yeah. But so I've been trying to take it easy for the past week while still playing shows. So that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
Is find that midway between what my normal would be and what my norm for a bit will be, so that I can continue to go on with my usual self.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is you guys aren't one of those bands where there's just like, you're doing all the lifting. All you guys are just like so active, and it's such a great show.
Yeah, and we're really lucky that my brother's out here, and we have two wonderful guitar techs out here with us, Brian and Cody, that are taking care of most of the heavy lifting. So
yeah,
we're super lucky in that front right now. And the shows have been really good. The last show we played yesterday didn't even hurt that much after until I went to sleep. Sleeping is the most painful part.
That's terrible.
Now, I think the obvious question most people are probably asking is like, so at 100 feet, why aren't you using, like a life pack?
I don't know. It just seems weird. It's too technical. I don't like when things get too technical, and when you have to start worrying about certain frequencies and stuff. I like that a cable's straightforward. If a cable stops sounding good, there's another cable kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then also I switch guitars often, because I use half the set. I use 3-string guitars and then different tunings and stuff. And then I need several packs and then batteries. And I just really like because people are like, oh man, the cable will sound different. Yeah, the cable will sound different, but if you could EQ based on that. And then, I also like the way that the big, longer cable, it compresses, and I like the way it sounds in the low end.
Yeah.
Weirdly, yeah.
That's cool.
This tour has been really cool. We're playing with this band, Boris, and they're also a very loud band. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 cabs on stage with them, and they're all live.
They have 10 cabs?
Yeah, there's 8 4x12s and then two SVTs.
Oh, jeez.
And everything's on.
Wow.
And so I'm the quiet guy, which I love, because I'm usually getting yelled at for being too loud. So I'm having a good time. And it's sounding really good in these venues. The sound people are dialing it in really well. We have a front of house guy out here with us, Nick, who's doing a really good job.
That's cool.
At getting the vocals up. So it's been a really good time.
That's awesome, man. Well, as for Tony, no, okay. As for me,
how about you, Todd?
I knew you were going to do that. Yeah. So we just did. Let's see. We've had a lot of things going on behind the scenes, which I can't exactly talk about just yet.
I can.
You can't, but you shouldn't. But in lieu of that, I'm reassessing all of my drive situation.
Huh.
So, and I got the new True Tone One Spot Pro.
Yes.
The 11. It came out the day that I was about to buy the 12.
No, there you
and
go.
I didn't know that, and I was like, and I saw an ad. I was like, oh man, 5 minutes ago I almost bought the old one, and it had just come out.
So you're switching everything over to 9-volt batteries.
Yeah. So that power unit, my power unit, just didn't end up working with. I ended up getting the Vox AC30 S1, and so for whatever reason, that power unit, my old one, the Fender engine room, it was all these crazy frequencies that I couldn't even hear on some of the other amps. So it's kind of wild.
I think I would say there has to be something wrong with that particular unit.
There might be, because I tried other power sources and there was no problem either. So it was only from that power source.
Did you buy that one new or?
Yeah.
I think I would get a hold of customer service. And
it's like 2 years old. Whatever. I'm over it. So anyways,
I'm not over it yet.
This one is great. It's 11 spots.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference is they changed it over from, the True Tone 12 had specific allocations, and it got a little bit complicated. Yes, there was 12 spots, but you really kind of had to really be thinking about what you were doing as where you're going to put things.
Yeah.
And the new one, they just said, you know what? We just made them all default 9. There's some variable voltages on them. And variable milliamps, but they're all isolated.
Nice.
500 to 100.
So they simplified it.
They did. Not totally, where it's like everything is 500 milliamps or everything is 100.
So how does this affect your drives? You said you were rethinking your drives.
Well, that's not the thing that affected my drives.
Okay.
It's something to do with my amp that I can't yet talk about.
Oh,
yes.
But, I think I know what you're talking about.
So anyway, that was fun times. It's all. I mean, there's no better way to completely blow an entire day than trying out like 25 different drive pedals.
Boy,
it's like smelling perfumes for 6 hours.
Yeah, you go. No, smell.
But it's still fun,
death.
and I ended up with a completely different combination than I did before. So I'm like, well, okay, let's go with this for right now.
Isn't that what happened to?
You're good at this game.
From Walk Hard.
Dewey?
He went. Yeah, Dewey Cox. He went.
Yeah.
He went smell blind.
He went smell blind.
Oh yeah.
Hate to tell you this, but I'm smell blind.
It is really hard to find a drive pedal that doesn't sound artificial when you put it into your rig. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. We were just talking about that actually. One of our listeners, Trevor Ellenberg. Thank you, Trevor, for sending out a handful of pedals. He sent the Vemurim Shank, and he also sent out the Strymon Sunset, just for me to kind of play with. And we had talked about the Sunset before, and I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, "Ooh, that sounds really good." But then it was weird because it was so clean, and I don't mean it. We're like, "What? How can overdrive sound clean?" The signal was like too clean, like almost like it was like a full stop gate.
Gotcha.
And I was like, "Oh, well, that was weird." And then I was like, "Well, I don't know if I like this." So, anyways, that's what I did, and I think I've got something that works. So. Which is, and it's cool because we're in writing, pre-recording, getting very close to recording mode. So all these things are starting to come to life. Yeah, that's super fun. You know how that is.
You know what? It's really hard for me to record with drive pedals. I always end up, because I use drive pedals live, and then I always end up going back and just wanting to just record an amp that's a little bit dirtier, just like. Yeah. From the amp. I wish we could just all be louder, and that was okay.
Well, that's actually what we did on our last one. I had all my stuff in here, and John said, "Just turn those off." and I sat in the main room, and he went out there and dimed the Bassmaster, and he's got a 71 Marshall.
I think that's what he said it was.
Yeah, so he had both of those going, and it sounded glorious.
wow.
But that's like, you can't do that anywhere. It's like, if we were in that room, we'd be deaf. So,
Yeah.
with a little kiss of drive, not just a little bit to kind of give it some color, on the inside. But anyways,
I just got my first Marshall not too long ago.
Really?
A couple months ago, I got. Yeah, it's a super. It originally belonged to the bass player from Fu Manchu, Brad.
Oh,
who
okay.
also does Creepy Fingers.
Yeah.
Pedals.
Yeah.
And he grew up with my girlfriend's uncle. And so my girlfriend's uncle texted me one day, "Hey, my friend is selling this Marshall head. I know you don't usually use these, but I want to keep it kind of close to the family, and he's doing a pretty good deal on it." And it didn't belong to Brad anymore, but it was that one, and I got it, and I fixed it up, and I actually like it. It's pretty cool. It's a good flavor to have.
Nice. Is that something you think you're going to work into your normal tour rig?
No. My brother tried it on one gig we played in Vegas.
Yeah.
And that my main problem lately has been with venue power. Every night it's different. We've had, in that situation, everything was overpowered at a venue.
Oh.
So things were coming out the wall super hot, and just one night, all the amps got fried. We fried a shit ton of a bunch of tubes that night.
Oh no.
And then recently on this tour, because there's so many amps on stage, and they're this band Boris, they're running 10 amps, but they're also running really cool stuff like space echoes, old effects and stuff. So we're using so much power, and then we're coming on and we're using quite a bit of amps too.
Yeah.
We're using so much power that the power is dipping in the middle of the set.
Jeez.
Because once they turn the lights on and they're running that, I could start to hear, oh no, we're getting, this is sounding like 115, 111, and it's like going in between, and you could start to see the colors on the lights of the amps start to move a little bit.
Yeah, tube amps don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like that, and so that's been the recent issue as of lately. It only happens like once every 10 shows or something, but when it happens, it is a bummer.
So there's no power conditioning or anything?
Not currently. I was looking into it. I was texting with Buzz from the Melvins earlier, because I know he uses this old, it's called the Furman Power Factor.
Yep.
That he plugs his amps into, and to get a better quality from the walls. And they don't make the one that he has anymore. There's this bigger one that I was looking at maybe getting. I don't know if it'll fix the problem. There's also the brown boxes, but the brown boxes is just a variac. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to get less power. I'm trying to just
maintain power. Yeah.
I'm trying to maintain power. So I don't know if the power factor will work, but I'm looking into it at the moment.
Cool. Fixing problems as they come.
Solving problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. We have, speaking of your tour and everything, you made an announcement this last week.
I did. And they're already gone.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I went on, the minute I saw that, I tried to find the link, and I couldn't, it wasn't on the actual STARCRAWLER site. Or if it was,
no.
Yeah.
What?
Well, go ahead and tell us about what at least the ones that you did have go, and what are your future plans?
Yeah, so basically 2 years ago, there's this guy that I grew up with. His name is Desi Scaglione. That's not how you really pronounce his name, but it's how I pronounce it. He's in this band now that's really cool called Rocket. And if you haven't checked them out, you should check them out. Great guitar tones, but he's also a super tech wizard. He works at Black Vault Amplification at the moment, just building pedals and building amps. But he's been doing stuff with us for a long time. He helped us build our studio, and we just go back a long time. And a couple of years ago, I was using over the years, I've used all these different types of Big Muff pedals. I started with, the basic Guitar Center, big box, Big Muff, and then have gone everywhere in between. I've used the JHS version, a few other ones. I've used an old Russian one. I used an old
Didn't you have
Ram's
a Ren and
head.
Cuff at one? I thought you mentioned.
Oh yeah, I had the Hoof Reaper, the Earthquaker one, for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a bunch, and but there's always been things that I like about one, and the things that I don't like about one. And then so a couple of years ago, I was like, man, you know what? We're doing all this other stuff with outboard gear and fixing this. It would be really cool if you could just make me a Big Muff and we could try stuff out, because I really want to find something that does all the stuff that I want, because I don't think there is that at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to Studio 64, and I brought all my Big Muffs. He brought all his Big Muffs. Our friend Chris from R2R Electric, he brought his Big Muffs. Other friend Kurt brought a couple old Rat pedals, and we had my Magnetone there, and we just listened to all these different pedals and, wrote down the things that we liked about certain ones and such. And we got 2 prototypes together, and they were built on a perf board, and so that you could exchange parts, certain diodes and, LEDs or such.
Yeah.
And we decided originally it's just going to be diodes. And then also our friend George from Way Huge gave us a bag of old parts.
Oh, nice.
And so I felt it was really cool, because it was a cool mission, and all these people that are really dear to me, and I feel like are really, the top of the top in the pedal world helped out.
You're dropping some serious top shelf names.
And, just gave their advice and stuff, which was really cool. And so over like a year, I had 2 of these pedals, and I had a bag of parts. And so on tour, night after night, I would switch out these 2 pedals and, change out the parts to really see, okay, what cuts through in the mix, what has the most low end, what's, sounds best with this amp, kind of thing. And once, I landed on something, it was like it wasn't what I would have thought would have worked, but it's one LED, and then it's a germanium diode, which are different than the germanium transistors, because the germanium diodes don't react to heat the same way. Because I've had some Big Muff style pedals with germanium in it, and it's like, cool, we're playing in the sun today, so it's going to sound like shit.
Yeah.
Or, the other way around too. And so I didn't want that to happen. But we landed on this pedal, and then we decided that we should make just a handful of them. And I wanted to only sell them at shows, just so that I didn't have to deal with shipping anything or dealing with that. So I just silently started bringing them to the merch booth, and made a video with our friend Vice Cooler, who I've worked with a bunch at Earthquaker and Dalton, who we've done Earthquaker videos together, and we made a video for it. And then within the first week of that video being out, sold out of the first batch. And so now we're going to make a few more and do a few more. And then after that, I don't know if we're going to keep doing them. We might make a PCB version later on, so that I could hit, a better price point for people.
Yeah.
That isn't, super handmade, but it still sounds good.
What did they end up going for?
I'm selling them for $300.
Yeah.
Just at the show. And, part of that covers the parts. Part of that covers the, Desi, who built all these pedals by hand.
Yeah.
And, wired them up.
It doesn't even need an explanation. I mean, that's.
Right. And then the other part of them is just going into, cool, let's, make a pot of stuff, and let's make some more of these for, maybe a more mass-produced version that kids can get their hands on and have something that might inspire them to play something cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, need I ask what color these were?
You know what? This first round was pink, but there is a round that nobody knows about yet. Ooh. That my girlfriend's little sister painted all these really cool graphics on.
Oh, neat.
So, yeah, I wanted to make a version that, the more masculine guy that's afraid of the pink would be able to play as well.
Don't fear the pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that not everybody's like me, you know. Not everybody can do the pink. I'm wearing these pink Doc Martens right now that were like 40% off, and I was like, wow, they're perfect for me. Nobody else with this, you know, a size 12 foot wants to wear a pink shoe.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes. It's different. It's difficult. I also have a relatively large foot. I'm a 12 and a half, which makes it's so difficult because a 12 doesn't fit great, and a 13, they usually make the 13s just a little skosh longer.
Yeah, so you're tripping on them.
Yes, it's so hard to find shoes that fit.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's really hard with cowboy boots too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, unless you get like the El Norte kind with the that
Oh,
go
yeah,
all
where
the
it keeps
curve all the
going.
way up to your knee. Yeah.
I had a pair of those for a long time.
Did you really?
Yeah, my bandmate Arrow's uncle gave them to me. They were his.
Oh,
and
my
I told him
goodness.
I told him I liked them, and he took them off. And he said, "Here, have them."
That's amazing.
And then later, I gave them back because they were just such a part of his personality. I felt like I took it away from him.
Wow, wild. Okay, so these the pedals that you got rid of that you sold this next batch, are you going to be doing the same thing? Is it like you can only get it on tour, or?
Yeah, I think so. And then the ones that will be left over from tour, I'm going to put up on Reverb just one at a time. And I'll do the announcements like the day before. I'm going to put one up at this time kind of thing, if there are any left.
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't think that we'd sell out of a batch in 5 days.
That's
Again,
crazy.
that's pretty crazy, especially at that price point. But
Yeah.
it's cool. I've wrote down, because I've also sold each one of these. I'm going out to merch, and I'm, you know, physically doing the selling.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of one of your things.
Yeah, I really like having, you know, that connection there, and, you know, being there to see people who've, you know, gone out of their way to come to our shows. I really appreciate that.
I remember when we were playing with you here in Cincy. That was the first time that we actually saw you guys, and it was really cool to actually. I mean, you were there the entire time. Like literally, the entire audience could have come up one at a time, and actually most of them did. And you stayed back there and greeted every single person. That was very admirable. That was very cool.
Well, you know, there's a couple of reasons. Also, then I don't have to carry anything.
We'll keep that to ourselves. How about that?
And there were stairs that night.
Yes. So people need to go. First of all, you need to go see the show because it's a great show.
Yeah.
But second of all, if you want to get one of these pedals, you're gonna have to.
You gotta go to the show.
Yeah,
that's only fair.
You gotta go to a show.
Yeah, and you're currently you have no more of those pedals for probably a couple months or something.
You know what? I think I might have some more this week.
Woo! Really?
We'll see. Yeah, it's a weird thing because, you know, the guy that's building these, you know, with me, he is also on tour. So it's just our schedules are really conflicting. So it's like, oh, are you going to be home for a couple of days? Okay, send me a couple more, kind of thing. Or, oh, cool, I'll drop these off at your house, like when I'm out, and then when you get back home, work on them, kind of thing. And then every single one of these pedals I've played through, and he's played through, and, you know, we've signed each one of these on the inside, gone through them to make sure that they sounded just like, you know, the original one. Of course, you know, they aren't going to all be the same, but just make sure that they all hit the standard. Yeah. Because we don't want anybody to end up with a dud. And I feel like that happens a lot with pedals these days. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just parts are kind of inconsistent.
Understandable. Yeah. Well, and if you had like Chris involved in that, I'm sure like also it's like the names that you had are going to ensure that these are incredible pedals.
Yeah, Chris helped us get some of the parts, so I really do need to thank Chris. I mean, also just Chris is an amazing guitar player himself. I've, you know, been lucky enough to play with him, and in every single one of my guitars, all the electronics or Chris's
Yeah.
old collection of pots and his treble boosters, and he's just a genius. And I'm so lucky to call him a friend.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite people. And it's cool that this small world thing with how you guys are friends too, and meeting you guys and that whole thing. And also, Tony, these pick guards are great, man.
I'm glad you like them.
I love them.
They do look good. I've seen the pictures and things that you've posted, and yeah, I agree. That really, that makes that guitar even more special.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy with it.
Good.
But yeah, I'm just super. It's really cool that out here in this gear world, everybody's so nice and willing to help each other out. It doesn't feel very competitive at all. It's just everybody's so nerdy and into gear that's all we care about is just getting more stuff to make sounds with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. Hey, just out of curiosity, I know that you're running, you got a AC-15 and a AC-30 on stage, right? And
right now I'm using a satellite and then an AC-15. And I'll just use either one. Right now I'm using the satellite.
Got it. Okay. We've just been talking about Vox and speakers and stuff. What do you have in the back of your Vox?
In my AC-15, I have greenbacks, and in my Vox cab for my AC-30, which I'm using the satellite head with, I have the blue backs.
Got it. Okay.
And
yeah, because I know that you had that
sure.
the 30 up on stage, but you're just saying that that's just a cab.
Yeah, it's just a cab, and I'm thinking I'm liking the greenbacks more. I also just got this. I got this cabinet. It was a Marshall PA, the 210 cabinet.
Yep.
I got one from Satellite Amps. Adam hooked me up with it, and he hooked me up with, he let me know about these, I think, Midwestern speaker repair speakers.
Oh.
That they have all the old Jensen parts.
Oh.
And they used to repair speakers, and now they make speakers. And I got 2 of those 10-inch speakers and put them in this Marshall cab. And I'm really liking those right now.
Interesting.
And and I'm really liking, like in my Fenders, most of my Fenders have the Eminence, just the regular Fender style speaker. And those are really cool too.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool, man. Well, I know that you got to do your thing and get some relaxation. You got a big show tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
We are about to round third and head home. Anything else that's top of mind with you right now?
You know what? There actually is a couple more exciting things. One of which is our mutual friend, Randy Parsons. Who,
yes.
Those who don't know, a lot of my favorite guitars are made by him. He's doing, I don't know if you checked it out, but he's been doing this really cool thing on Patreon lately.
Yes.
Where he's been giving away guitars. And I think it costs something like $6 to sign up, and he puts your name into a thing, and he's been doing, because he lives out in Kansas, and it's like farm country. He lives in this crazy looking church. And
Yep. Remember
really cool art stuff. And I think he did a chicken race for his last giveaway, and he's got another giveaway coming up in October where he's giving away like a Halloween bat. But I think there might be a Henri Cash bat being given away.
Oh,
really?
I think
coming up pretty soon.
That's super cool. That's super cool.
Those who have Patreon, it's like your lotto ticket. If you want to head over there, maybe, I think it's, after Halloween, I think there might be something really exciting in the works over there.
Oh, that's extremely
Excellent.
cool. And if you're not familiar with Parsons Guitars, episode number 338.
Yeah. Well, that was just after Henry was on.
Just after Henry was on.
Yes.
And you get all the info that you need and then some. But I am going to definitely check out. That is very cool.
Oh, yeah,
I would
for
love
sure.
to have a bat.
That would be very, very, very cool. I really love to make it down there and check out a shop at some point. That'd be really
Kansas
cool.
isn't that far. We just drive and drive and drive.
I got to go to a shop when he had it in the old Hells Angels party house
Right.
in Ventura.
That's crazy.
It's really cool, just everything he does. He's such an artist about every single thing, and it's cool to just see an artist in their space.
Agreed.
But
Agreed. Anything else? Is that about it?
that, and also check out what was I gonna say? There's something else. My God. Oh, Cunningham amps. Have you heard of his pedals? Out of New Zealand. We're working on something at the moment, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say. But if you haven't checked out his pedals are amazing too. He was at NAMM last year. Also, if you're going to NAMM this year, they're doing an event. Curtis Novak, I think, is throwing it called Wood Wire Vaults.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm definitely going to be over there. Slusser Guitars, which made me this crazy cool Flying V out of like my crazy dreams. It's like a Gretsch Roundup Flying V hollow body thing. He's going to be there. I'm going to be there. It's going to be super fun. So if you're heading down that way in January, come say hi. And maybe we'll have some more pedals out there too.
Outstanding.
That'd be sweet.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Henry, we want to respect your time, but we do have a would you rather on our way out.
I think you're going to like this one. You know, Todd, at this point of the show's little game that we like to play called Would You Rather?
Oh, yes, I'm familiar.
Ooh, excuse me.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Tonight's Would You Rather is a cautionary tale of messing with the time-space continuum.
Uh-oh.
Generally speaking, bad things can happen.
Yes.
When you mess with the time-space continuum.
The one thing you can't do when you travel in time is mess with the space-time continuum.
Yes.
Yeah, like
we would call that
like Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeves in 1981, I believe.
Yes, also filmed up in Michigan.
Where he left the penny.
Yes, he left the penny. This is called the butterfly effect.
Got it.
Well, this week's Would You Rather, we let's just imagine that we have this machine that we can go into and maybe go and change things as they might be now, but are no longer. So what we're going to do, and this is going to be fun because I'm going to let you go out of order. Henry, you're going to go first. But so Henry and his brother Bill Cash go into this said machine. And there are 3 possible outcomes that both Bill and Henry will be replacing band members in other brother bands, and in one case, a sister band. So they enter the machine, they come out, and they shake their heads a little bit, and they say, "Oh no, we're in the darkness. What happened to Justin and Dan Hawkins? I guess we have to fill in." That's option 1. Option 2, you show up and you shake off, and you're in the Black Crowes. And you're replacing Chris and Rich Robinson.
What?
Yes.
You're replacing both of them?
Well, because it's Henry and Bill.
Go. Yes. Okay.
Can you get with the program?
I'm sorry.
The final crazy twist is you get to be in The Breeders, replacing Kim and Kelly Deal.
Oh my goodness.
So,
okay.
Henry, I'm going to let you make Bill's decision. Which of those 3?
Are Kim and Kelly Deal the only 2 of those options that get along?
I don't even think they get along anymore.
Yeah, they probably don't get along. Normally we would default to Oasis, but
no, that's too easy.
I know that you and your brother get along. So that's, so we try to smooth it over. Although I think aren't the Black Crowes, I think they're back together.
Money talks.
Yeah, I guess that it does heal all the wounds. So Henry, normally I would go first, but would you rather have you and your brother replace Justin and Dan Hawkins, Chris and Rich Robinson, or Kim and Kelly Deal?
Wow. I feel like, that's a hard one. I feel like which one of us would have to sing, I believe in a thing called love.
There you go.
Yeah.
You did it. You passed the audition.
Yeah.
That would be pretty fun, I must say. But the Black Crowes could be fun too.
I could see that.
Also, I like the Deals. The Deals seems like the less drama of the bunch, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
What is your final answer?
I'm kind of a fan of no drama, so I think I might go with the Breeders.
Yay!
Yeah,
and we'll get to see you a lot because they were based out of Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, just for the I feel like they might get along the most.
Okay.
Out of the three, I don't know that for a fact.
Well,
but all three of I'll take any of those three.
Well, the Deals were twin sisters. They're still twin sisters.
Yeah.
Speaking in past
tense. Still are, yes.
Yes, they still are.
And both alive, so
yes.
There you go.
So, okay, well that's a good reasoning behind it. You like less drama.
Yeah.
And
Tony, what do you
I think I want to see Henry and Bill in the darkness. I just think that would be great. I could just see Bill wailing on the old pedal steel. And, yeah. I mean, just doing the crazy, crazy stuff. I think, and Henry already passed the audition, so
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do like his podcast a lot.
And he's fantastic.
And he said some very nice things about us, which is really cool.
That's even better.
That is cool.
And I mean, his guitar playing and singing is crazy. But I mean, all those bands, the Black Crowes are insane as well.
Oh yeah.
They're all very, very talented. I'm gonna have to go with replacing In the Darkness, even though I liked them. And one of the coolest things that I've got in recent history was a birthday wish from the man himself.
That's right,
Hawkins, and it was one through the Cameo app. Some of the listeners that did that, and I just clicked on the link and it was him, and I'm like, what? That was such a cool thing. Oh my gosh. That was such a fantastic feeling.
Well, but now it'll be Henry giving you that greeting.
Now, the only thing is you have to wear those, you have to wear like the Freddie Mercury, like scoop suits in the front,
I am the most jealous of Rich Robinson's gear collection. So, he has all those Gretches and Tweed amps. And
Yep.
Echoplexes.
All the good stuff.
Now,
that was a fun one. What?
Yes, and now just if you want to think about this a little further, because we've switched places, now STARCRAWLER will have the other groups, other persons. So
True.
So, but anyhow, well, there you go. That was just a fun little quick throw together.
Indeed.
At this point of the show is a time that we like to thank a special group of people. Who are they? These are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. Really. And another thing.
Yeah.
So, how do you become one? Easy. Head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate and become a friend, a sponsor, a hero of the podcast.
Indeed.
We love that. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts, and the packages are quite incredible. I've seen them going out. I've seen people when they get them posting things. It's quite nice. But above and beyond all the great stuff, there's one thing more. What would that be? And that translates again into you get to have your name read on the thing. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: John Sebastian, Trevor Ellenberg, Cameron Pampas, James Bell, Brett Hogarth, Gregory Randall, Don Kloss, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Rusty Sneeden, Vader and Pedals, John Halverson, Rick Calhoun, Trevor Gunberg, Elad Mizrahi, Richard Kendall, James White, Justin Jones, John Esterly from Rare Effects, Anthony Lathrop, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Ken Sayers, Darren Gregory, Tom Brazen, Eric Merrow, and Plutone.
Ooh.
Yes. But wait, Todd, there's more.
Yes.
Because there's a very
That
special...
was my best Skeletor
Yes.
impression from Nacho Libre. Go ahead.
There you go. There's another group of executive producers. These are our grand poobahs. They are the top of the heap, the A number ones,
King of the Hill.
and the kings of the hill.
I dig it.
And they have a fez
On their head.
to wear
I get it.
while listening.
All these things are making sense to me now.
Okay, you have a moment of clarity.
Yes.
Excellent. So special thanks to these grand poobahs. Anthony Gemolero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Hex Matos, James Pennington, John Williams, LSJ Music Company, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Paul Von Eppinger, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, Tyler K.C. Rhines, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wound Pickups, and Pedro Vasquez. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. We do appreciate it so very much. We could always use your help.
Yeah.
If you're on the fence, get off the fence. We got some great stuff we're going to be.
There's plenty of
we're already
room.
giving away. We're giving away some heavier duty items
Yes.
coming up.
And there's plenty of room in the clubhouse.
Yeah, and aside from just getting some cool stuff, you're supporting a show that works really hard to bring great content to you.
Yes.
That would be this one.
Oh, that's his show.
That is this show.
Okay.
Yes. All right, Henry, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you, as per usual. We're lucky enough to catch you flying around the universe at such interesting and unforeseen times.
At the speed of sound.
Yes, and I'm just really glad that you were able to take a moment and share all these things with us. And we're excited about the pedals. We're excited about your tour. And all the great things. You're a great presence in the guitar world, and we honestly we're really stoked that you're out there doing that.
Thank you so much, man. And I hope to get to see you next time we're down in Ohio, get to see your band, and hopefully get to play together again sometime.
I absolutely would love that. So with that, where can people go to find the things that you're doing right now?
Probably the best place to find what I'm doing is going to be on my Instagram at Henri Cash or at STARCRAWLER or at Cash and Sky Band, which are all linked in the Henri Cash bio. As far as websites, I don't know if people are still doing those things anymore, but they sure were convenient when they were around.
Yes, they are. Actually, I'm on the STARCRAWLER one, and you're looking at Grand Rapids. That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're in St. Andrews Hall in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, great venue.
Yeah,
That's where they filmed 8 Mile downstairs.
Excellent. Well, and the tour goes on and on and on. So go check it out. Make sure you guys go out and see STARCRAWLER on tour and watch Henry do his thing, and go up and hey, and on our pal Michael Van Zant, he sent me. He's like, guess where I am, and he showed me a picture of your rig, and I'm like, say hi. So he got a great picture with you and all that stuff, and
I think he even got a pedal.
I
cool.
would imagine he did. Yeah, I believe that. Well, anyways, Henry, we're going to let you go. Please say hi to your brother and the rest of the crew, and hope you have a great tour, man.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Tony, where can people find the things that you do?
Well, head over to pickguardian.com. check out the things that I do. What do? I make custom pickguards for guitars. How do you get one? You shoot me an email. Let me know what you're doing, what you're trying to do, what you need, colors, all the stuff. You want to change out pickups? Hey, no problem. I know a guy.
Yeah. If you want a cool pickguard like Henri Cash, you're the man to go to.
That is true.
That's right.
I was very happy to hear that from Henry, by the way. Thank you, Henry. That makes me feel warm inside.
Yes. That and the Bourbon Trail. Yeah. All right, you can go to...
Hey.
Yeah?
It's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Even more yours. That's correct. You can shoot me a DM at Guitar Knobs on Instagram. Would love to hear from you. Just say hi. That's all we're asking.
Hi, Todd.
And you know what? If you could tell one of your guitar friends that you think would really like the show, we'd really appreciate it.
And if you can put together a would you rather, or let us know what your four on the floor is.
Yeah.
We love to hear stuff.
Yeah.
We love seeing the stuff that you send us.
Yeah, or send me the worst insult you can think of for Tony.
Oh.
Hey, quick announcement. We will be making an announcement we're going to redo the hoodies and stuff.
Ooh,
yeah.
hoodies.
I'm looking at yours and realize it's time for an update.
Well, this one's not bad.
We're going to do, for our patrons, we're going to send out a list for getting hoodies and
it is getting to be that time of the year
that are included in that. So that's coming up.
Can we do toques?
What?
Toque.
I don't know what a toque is.
You don't know what a toque is?
I don't know, so we're not going to make it.
It's a hat.
I surmised that. Hey, everybody, have a fantastic guitar week and subscribe.
Yeah. And you have to have steady hands.
Yes. And you have to be Scottish. It was weird. There was a couple shows that had like adopted little John Denver looking.
Well, that was
the Brady Bunch did too.
That was the end of the Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family.
That's right.
Jetson. Have you switched everything over to purple yet?
Yeah,
No.
purple's a new pink, man. Didn't you know that?
Not yet.
Show it to me. Show it to me. Oh, man.
Or he's there and you can't hear us. Henry,
Can you hear
if
me?
you're there,
Henry, can you tell?
jump out and come back
In,
cause
'cause we can't see you.
Ooh, I'm back.
All right. It sounds like you're sitting in a beanbag too.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so weird. We got to this barn party, and it's just a whole bunch of big, giant, barrel-chested, like teenagers drinking with a barn heater, like a big, giant propane thing.
Yeah.
And here I come, looking like I just rolled out of L.A. It didn't go as smoothly as I had hoped it would. You know. So we got to say our things.
This first.
Isn't that the thing?
The other thing is
Just continue that part.
okay, and then we'll go back and do this.
No, we'll do that and then.
Okay.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.